Alright, I don't know if you can see that very well, but there is the probe mounted up into the spindle of my router. I've zeroed my x-axis. I'm right now zeroing the y-axis. I'm going to run to the other end of this probe to find out what the total dimensions of the probe is going to be. There's nothing more frustrating than spending 6 hours probing something and then discovering that you didn't get it all. So we're going to go ahead and set this up, and then I'm going to show you guys how to use the probing routine in Mach 3. Okay, as you can see, I've moved the probe up to the far right-hand corner of the Ruger hand grip that I'm going to be probing. And I come over here to Mach, and I can see here on Mach screen that my X is 2.80, my Y is 3.3571, so I round that up to 3.4, so I make sure that I get the entire thing. I know that the Z height maximum is 5.5, so I'm going to set it to 0.6. So that will be my total Z height probing. You'll notice that this is not your typical Mach screen. This is my own design of Mach screen. It's designed for a touchscreen system, which I have, and I like it a lot. Over here you'll see when I get ready to do the probing that this little green LED will start lighting up. This is my probe light. I brought it up to the front so that I could see it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put everything in place, and then I'll show you how to set Mach up to do this. In order to set up my system, I keep it on the probe. As you can see, the light's on right now. I use a zeroing probe that you find on that Mach Blue video on YouTube. I use it for zeroing my tools all the time, so it is set so that the contact is normally open. This probe is set for being normally closed, so we have to change our configuration settings. You have to go into ports and pins. Got to go to your input signals. Scroll down till you find your probe. Change it from active low to active high. Apply that. You'll notice that the light now goes out, and we reset the system. Okay? Now that probe is ready to zero. What I do is I take the probe down till it just touches, until I just get the green light, and then I just tap it until I come up back to the surface. I don't want to probe the surface. I only want to probe the hand grip. So if I come up just slightly above the surface of the material I'm probing, then I won't get any of the readings down there. It'll just go down to 0 and then start over. So I'll have a nice flat plane right there. So go ahead and zero our Z-axis out. Now we're 0, 0, 0. We're going to go ahead and start the wizards. We're just going to do the standard bed of nails one. This one works. You get a lot of dead air, but for a beginner, this is the greatest place to start. You know that your width of your X, if remember on the chalkboard here, was 2.8 inches. We know that the Y region that we're going to be wanting to probe from the chalkboard was 3.4 inches. Whoa, not 36.4. Not 33.4. 3.4. We know that the top of that material is no more than half 0.55, so we're going to go to 0.6. Actually, let's go to 0.7 just to be safe. That's the maximum height that Z probe will travel now. We're going to do probe to a depth of 0. That means that the Z-axis is going to go down to where 0 level is and stop and return whether it finds anything or not. The resolution on this is going to be a 0.02 in the Z, or in the X rather, and a 0.02. I know I clicked in the wrong place here. A 0.02 in X and a 0.02 in Y. That gives me a pretty fine grid. Our feed rate we're going to set to about 30 inches a minute. I wouldn't recommend that you do anything over 30 until you know your probe and know what you're doing and have done this several times and are comfortable that your probe will stop in time. I'll give you an example. I know from experience that the Z depth probing on my machine takes about 2/1000 of 1 inch to stop after it receives a signal. I know that because I have to set my zeroing probe plate up, and I have to adjust it a little bit for the stop time. So I know that it takes 2/1000 of an inch. So I know I'm going to be that much room to move to stop. Until you know what yours is, I wouldn't recommend that you go above 30. Check your file size. It's going to be a pretty big file, but it's okay. I want a really good probe on this thing. We're going to go ahead and click create and load that G-code. It dumps you back into the mock screen. It loads up the grid in your preview window there. You can see a nice red block because I'm going to get so many points. And then all you do is go here, you click start, you name this thing whatever you want it to be. I'm going to put it in my CNC folder here on my shared drive. We're going to call this inside grip, and I'm going to call it an XYZ file because I have found a program that reads XYZs and creates meshes from points clouds, and it's free. I'll share that with you if anybody's interested. Inside grip XYZ, click save, and then you just click the start button and it'll cycle start and begin the probing routine. And what it'll do is it goes up, probe moves over 2/100ths or 2/100ths of an inch, goes down again, and it just does this all the way across. It gets to the other end, it'll start over, and as soon as it starts contacting that hand grip, it will start registering those points, come back up, go down, and just continue to register it. I'm sure you've seen probing routines on YouTube, so you know what that's all about. I'll show you with this video. I'm going to go ahead and include the point cloud from the front portion of this grip. And before you get critical of the routine that you the results of that point cloud that you see, because you'll see that the hand grip looks all pocked and scarred. Understand that this hand grip did get all pocked and scarred. I've tried to build many probes and had some success and some failures, and unfortunately the failures have left their mark on my hand grips. So consequently, the probing routine actually returned pretty accurate values. It's a pretty rough looking hand grip on the other side. Hopefully I'll get this one and I'll post it later so that you can see the results of this hand grip as well.